Recording in progress. Thank you, your telephone. Okay. Today we're going to be, well, last time we talked about a few things, and briefly, we're gonna just say a little bit. We're going back a little bit here. We talked about that the signs, we're going back to 174. We said that the signs of end of time are four kinds. Well, in general, we're talking about the minor signs that already happened and finished, and we talked about those. And then which one of them was the splitting of the moon, and the next one of them was Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam sent as a prophet, and other things that were things, some signs that happened and finished. And we said that there's also minor signs that happened and that keep on going till now, and it will be continuing till the end of time. And then we said that there's also another kind, which is the small signs that did not happen yet. Now, to be honest with you, I find that we're going through the minor signs, but we're going to find while we're going through is the minor signs, we're going to find that most of them have already occurred. Okay, so, and then the last thing we have, so all of those are just, we can categorize them as one, which is the minor signs, and the major signs. Okay, we talked about those and we said we're going to be reading 10 pages from page 180 to 188, I think, right? Yeah. Okay, did you guys read the pages? How was your reflection about what you read? Assalamu alaikum. Did you guys read the pages from 80 to 88?
Wa alaikum assalam. I just want to note that this is my first time in this class.
Are you doing, ya Layla?
Alhamdulillah, bkhair, alhamdulillah.
Allah yahfadak. So we're doing the Signs of End of Time class. The book is called Al-Qiyam al-Sughra. You see here?
Oh, yeah.
لعمر سليمان الأشقر. And I'm assuming that you speak Arabic because you wrote Arabic in the comment section. It's for Umar Sulaiman al-Ashqar. He wrote the book in 1985. So you might be saying, well, this is an old book, and this is about 40 years ago. 40? Yeah. 40 years ago. Shouldn't we find a newer book? No, we don't have to find a newer book because we're actually talking about the signs of end of time according to the hadith. And just and he during his categorizing, he put one category of the minor signs that did not happen. And we will see that while we're going through the book, that he put the land of Ardul Jazira, the land of the Arab Peninsula, becoming green, that it didn't happen, and we didn't see any signs of that. And this is 1985. And this only happened, that the land of Al Jazeera becoming green, only like a few years ago, in like to 2020 or 2021, and going up. All this rain happening in Ard al Jazeera, on the land of Jazeera, and we can see that new rivers are coming back, and there's water coming from the ground and making new lakes and everything like that. Now, some people from Ard al Jazeera say that these things happen from the floodings each year, but I don't think that is true, because if it did happen each year like that, it would not have caused this trend to be becoming trend like that, and seeing greenery. And we're not talking about the southern part of Al Jazeera Al Arabiya, Arab Peninsula, where it has the climate of Yemen, and the climate of Yemen is green mostly and stuff like that, where there's mountains and everything. But we're not talking about the ones next to on the borders of the Red Sea. We are talking about the greenery happening near around Mecca, which is the desert part, the mountains becoming green, and in the middle of the forest where you find lakes and springs popping out of the ground and performing rivers and stuff like that. I guess we still have a few years to see that. Allahu A'lam how much it will take. Um, we cannot predict any of this. This is in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's ghaib. This is the unseen. Okay, we talked about some of the minor signs. Now today we're going to be talking about we're on page. Let me see here. Okay. Okay, we talked about this, and we said we're going to be going the signs that which have occurred and are going ongoing, or which occurred once and may be repeated. And we talked about that. We said, can anyone give us signs of things that already happened and are still ongoing? And some of you guys mentioned a few of those. Can you guys share a little bit some things that already happened and will keep on happening till the end of time? And we're not talking about the big signs of Yawm al Sa'a. We're talking about the minor signs that happened. Okay, can you guys does anyone want to share with us? Go ahead, Layla.
Isn't one of them the making halal al-ma'azif and the khamr?
Yep. And the music and flipping
Yeah.
the halal and flipping also the names. Instead of calling khamr, which is beer or alcohol, as their names, also flipping it into, well, they say alcohol, which is mashrubat ruhiya in the Arabic language, but they call it spiritual drinks or something like that. And well, I'm actually literally translating the word, but I really don't know. But they will call it spiritual in Arabic, spiritual drinks, which has nothing to do with anything spiritual. So it's flipping the name. Riba, which is what's riba in English? I forgot. Usury, they flip the name into interests. Okay, so which is something or fawaid, interest, but which is also haram, just flipping the meaning of it, and giving it a more fancy name instead of usury, using other people's needs and give them some money, loaning them money, and then taking more instead, which is what usury was from using, and then made it into interest, giving a more positive way of bringing it out. And this is dalal. This is actually dalal, which is actually way of shaitan and flipping the facts into haram. Flipping something fact that is haram and giving it a more of a decent, like how they say the politicians wear suits and everything, but really they are the biggest thieves. And we've seen that after the war on Iraq, the invasion of Iraq happened. We knew that Dick Cheney at that time, and also all those George Bush and his son, both of them had, you know, companies in oil and everything like that. And all the war was actually just to take the interests of the Iraqi people. Okay, let's go. We said one of them that keeps on going is also the killing. The killing will keep on going. Who would want to share? Yellow, let's make a little bit of sharing here. Ikram, would you like to remind us of things that happened and keep on happening till the end of time? We said killing, we said flipping the names of things that are haram, like usury into interests, like khamra into khamr and beer into spiritual drinks. What else? Or for example, wearing the hijab, as if wearing the hijab, considering it something that you're abusing the women. All of that, flipping the haqq into batil, into the right into wrong, and flipping all the meanings, all of it is from the signs of end of time. What else? Killing, adultery, homosexuality, all of those will keep on continuing. It's not just a period of time. No, they will continue till Yawm al-Qiyamah. People that will be killed and not known to be why they were killed, and those that go and kill don't know why they are going to kill. All those are signs of end of time. But let's go to the hadith here. We're talking about wars right now. الفتوحات والحروب conquests and wars. طيب طيب أرسل الله الرسول بالهدى. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent the Prophet Sayyidina Muhammad sallam for guidance, to spread the true religion and to remove the obstacles from people being able to be introduced to Islam, you know, and also removing the governments or the rulers or whatever empires that keep the people, the normal people living on earth, from being able to be to see Islam, to see the justice in Islam, and to be ruled by Islam, and to prevent the haram from happening on earth, you know, and to rule by the deen of Islam. These are the reasons of why the Muslimin go and take other places, okay, and declare wars on other places. Okay, is to rule by Islam and to give the opportunity for other people to understand what Islam is, and not to be under the rulings of tyrant kings, or kingdoms, or anything like that. And we've seen that happen. We've seen that happen in so many places. One of those places that we remember is Al-Andalus, was Andalusia. And if we go back to the Andalusia, which is Spain right now, you will understand that the people of Andalusia, or Spain, contacted the people behind the Mediterranean Sea, and they told them to come and help. They went there and they saw how the Muslimin were under good civilization. They was ruling, and people were were having a living. So they went, and while in Spain, they were under a certain way of living, where the king and the kingdom owned all the land and everything, and they would have the people as servants working there into the land that was owned by the king and the queen and the kingdom. And that was, of course, not being fair, because they're getting the futat, which is do I say pebbles, or what is it? They're getting little bit of food, while just for them to survive, while all the good and the interests and everything they're getting is going to the king and to the pockets of the kings and the rulers and everything like that. So they asked help from the Muslimin in al-Maghrib, in Morocco at that time, which is not Morocco, it was in Maghrib al-Arabi, which was Morocco, Tunisia, Algeria, and Mauritania and Libya. This is the Maghrib al-Arabi, which is called the big Moroccan land. Why was it called Maghrib? Maghrib means the west, and it was the west of the Islamic world. So because it was located in the west, so this is why the Maghrib got the name Maghrib. It's meaning the west, and also because it's where the Ghurub al-Shams, where where the sun sets. This is why we say Salatul Maghrib, because the sun sets that way. So the Sharq is where the sun comes from, which is Shuruq. So the word Sharq comes from, which is the east, comes from Shuruq, which means the sunrise. And this is why they call it the Sharq, which means the rising side, which means the rising, where the sun rises. And that is China, India, and all of Asia. This is all called the Sharq, and the West is, on the other side, which is Africa in the West, and also going up to Europe and everything like that. But Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam told us that there will be openings, and there will be conquests and victories that were yet to come for the Muslimin, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would bring to them in the future. Let's see who's going to read this hadith for us. Okay, let's go back to the participants group, and let's see who's there. Okay, Sister Layla, would you like to read with us?
Yeah, sure, inshallah.
Yallah, the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam told his companions.
The Messenger ﷺ told his companions of the conquests and victories that were to come, which Allah would bring about at their hands or at the hands of those who would come after them. He told them that at the time when they were weak and oppressed in Mecca, and when they were being besieged in Medina, living under constant fear of an enemy attack. Bukhari narrated that Khabbab ibn al-Arrat said, Al-Arat said,
نعم.
we complained to the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam whilst he was reclining in his cloak, on his cloak, in the shade of the Kaaba. We said to him, "Why do you not pray for our victory? Why do you not make supplication for us?" He said, "A hole was dug for a man before you. He was put in that hole. They then brought a saw and put it on his head and cut him in two. But that did not make him abandon his religion. One was combed with iron comb. Flesh was turned out of his bones, but that did not make him abandon his religion. By Allah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would complete this matter, Islam, and the day is at the hand when a rider traveling from Sana'a to Hadramaut will fear nothing except Allah, or the fear that the wolf may attack his sheep, but you are impatient.
Okay, Jazakallah khairan for this reading. And over here, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, as we go back to what Sister Layla read, they were already in Mecca at that time. And the one that read the hadith was al-Khabbab ibn Arat. Okay, they were in Mecca and Medina. Mecca and Medina, they were still besieged in Mecca. And you can imagine Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam with a tribe like al-Aws and al-Khazraj, only in Medina, that agreed for Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam to come, and they reverted to Islam. And also when he was in Mecca, he also said the same thing about opening Kisra and Faris when he was going. Remember when I said last time when he was running away and doing the hijrah, we said that last time he was doing the hijrah, and then he was followed by a Faris, which means a horseman. He was called Suraqa ibn Malik. He was followed by Suraqa ibn Malik, and then Nabi Sallallahu he was with Abu Bakr as-Siddiq and running away from the leaders of Quraysh. And then Suraqa ibn Malik saw them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made the two legs of the horse go into the sand, and Suraqa fell on the ground, and he was fearful for his life. So Nabi Sallallahu told him, "Yes, Suraqa, how about you leave us and don't tell the people about us that you saw us, and I will promise you the two bracelets of Kisra," which Kisra is actually the Persian king. The two bracelets of Kisra, the Persian king, where he used to put his hand. They were like two circles, heavy gold, tied to the ceiling on each side, and he would sit on his throne and having his both hands into those golden bracelets. So everyone used the two bracelets of Kisra and the Persians was known to be all this big gold bracelets, and how much it weighed. It was known for everyone about that there were two bracelets of Kisra, just in pride, putting his two hands on them just to lean on them. And that actually showed that was a way to show that the government, or not the government, the empire was rich and it had wealth, and this is the way that they used to show their power for other nations. And it was important for the king to have a very, very expensive and showing off throne, so that way the people, when the messengers come from other nations and see that they have the idea or the impression of this is a wealthy nation. Look how they have their king sitting on gold and putting his hands just to lean on kilos of gold tied to the ceiling. So Nabi Sallallahu told him, leave us, and I promise you the two bracelets of Kisra are going to be yours. So Suraqa ibn Malik took his horse and he went, and they asked him, "Did you see him?" He was like, "No." And after Fath Umar ibn Khattab, after like in the 30th Hijrah, which is 20 years after, more than 20 years. You're talking about 30 Hijrah, because one day Hijrah, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, when he was traveling, making Hijrah to Mecca, it wasn't Hijrah. They started the timing of the Hijrah when Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam arrived to al-Madinah, and that was actually called the first year of Hijrah. So you're talking about from 1 to 30, that's 30 years when they opened the land of the Persians, which is from Iraq to Iran and going up and stuff like that. And northern part also of Iran, and that area. So also had parts of Afghanistan and as well. But 30 years after that, Umar al-Khattab opened, they defeated, they won over the Persians, and he called upon Suraq ibn Malik. Suraq ibn Malik, where are you at? And he came to him, and he was like, those bracelets are yours. And he gave him the 2 bracelets of Kisra. So Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, this is a historical, something, a prophecy Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam told him, and he didn't die. All those battles that Suraq ibn Malik, he reverted to Islam, of course, all those battles that he participated in, he was never a shaheed. He didn't die as a shaheed. Nothing happened to him until that day came, and Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam fulfilled his promise. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fulfilled this promise, this person. Over here we see Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam blocked and besieged in Mecca, running away from his life and telling Suraq ibn Malik about the falling of an empire that lasted for thousands of years, and promising a Bedouin that he will give him the bracelets of Kisra. Okay. Another thing is, in Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam in Medina, when he was surrounded by Ghazwat al-Ahzab, with all the people of the Arab Peninsula, just like right now, all of the people in the Arab Peninsula, except some little bit of people in Yemen, some in Iraq, and some in Bilad al-Sham, which is Syria a little bit, and a little bit of Lebanon. They are with the people of the Muslimin of Palestine, which is Gaza mostly, and Muslimin. All of the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was besieged in Medina, and there Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam tells us about, that the people will be walking through Medina. Where is it? Walking through the Arab Peninsula. We're talking about a time the Arab Peninsula was not Muslim at that time. We're talking the Muslimin were only in Medina, just in Medina, and the other tribes there were not Muslimin, nor Yemen was Muslim at that time either. Okay? So yet again, he said, when a rider traveling from Sinai to Hadramaut will fear nothing except Allah. Did that happen or not? Yes, it did happen. And people reverted to Islam, and all the tribes reverted to Islam, and then all of this happened. So this is also the alama, a sign of end of time, and Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam told them that was going to happen, and already happened. Okay, another thing Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam told us about this hadith, that there will be strengthening the iman of the Sahaba, and telling them, what are you guys seeing? Don't compare the fitan that you are seeing is much, because there were people in the past, the years before, that people were combed with iron combs in their flesh, and their flesh was turned out from their bones, and they were cut, and did not make them abandon their religion. So Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was like, toughen up, what you're facing right now is nothing compared to the other nations, what they were doing. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave Ummat Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows that we have an ayah that is La yukallifu Allahu nafsan illa wus'aha. Long time ago, they were not giving the permission, the other shariahs, they were not given the permission, if they were put into a threat of either you leave your religion or not, that they are allowed to say, that they leave the religion just in fear for their life. But this permission was given to the ummah of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allah knows that we are weaker than the other, the other nations before us. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us if we were put in a situation, we were threatened by our iman and threatened by our lives, and to say words that we don't believe in. If you are fearful for your life, then you are allowed to say something as long as your heart is pounding with iman. Okay, طيب خلينا نروح. So over here we're saying Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam talking about the opening and the falling of Kisra in the Roman Empire, which lasted thousands of years, and Kisra, the Persian Empire, which lasted also for years. We have another hadith we want to read here. طيب, let's go down here. Who wants to read? Let's take Sister Ikram. Ikram, you want to read this one here? Safety and security was non-existent in the Arab Peninsula. Okay, and the law of jungle prevailed, and that's really important. At that time, in the Arab Peninsula, the law of jungle happened. People, when they used to have starvation, they would go invade the next village next to them, and they would go invade the next tribe to them, and they would have special months in the Jahiliyyah just for the months of invasion. And they also had the Ashhur al-Hurum, the 4 months of Ashhur al-Hurum. The Ashhur al-Hurum, they had 4 months of Ashhur al-Hurum where they were not allowed to invade other tribes, but yet again, the rest of the months they were allowed to invade each other. So don't say they were Arabs. No, they were Arabs, and they had this culture of invading other tribes around them. Okay, who wants to read? Safety and security was non-existent. Yalla lay, شو اسمه? Ikram, you want to read? Yalla Rihab. Rihab, you want to read?
Assalamu alaikum, Ustada. Yes, I
Alaikum
will
assalam.
read.
How are you doing, Ufti?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good. Inshallah, you are well.
Okay, Allah yahfadak ya Rabbi. So this is really important to understand. That was something considered, you're talking about people, you know how they bring like in the Sindibad where they have a few nights, So the idea of having nights and having people that would go and steal and attack pilgrims and everything and steal that was the main life at that time. People were not allowed to leave a certain tribe area because they fear of people stealing them. So it was really an adventure to leave unless you have people with swords that were protecting whatever caravans that went and made like businesses and everything like that. So if you didn't have people with swords protecting those caravans, the caravan would not be able or will not be qualified even to leave the area of Hada. And they also had treaties between them because, the caravan that was owned by like Abu Talib and people of Quraysh, they had special ways of being treated. Well, if you don't have special allies between other tribes, then you are worthy of nothing. This is why we have something called Zayd ibn Thabit, Zayd ibn Haritha. Zayd ibn Haritha was called Hibbun Nabi. He was the most beloved person to the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And he was actually slaved when 2 tribes attacked each other. He was taken as a slave after Nabi, and he was brought to the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He used to work with the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam in his home. And after that, the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Zayd ibn Haritha used to be called Zayd ibn Muhammad. Zayd ibn Muhammad. He was so much loved by Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and he was the father of Usama ibn Zayd. He was called Zayd ibn Muhammad in the Jahiliyyah time until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent the hukum of it's haram to claim people that are not your children by your own name, which is tabanni, So Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam also named him back to his father, which is Zayd ibn Haritha. Then Haritha came, which is the father of Zayd ibn Thabit, ibn Haritha, and he told him, I want to take you back. And he was like, I don't want to leave the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, because he was treated by Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam in such a wonderful way that he didn't want to leave with Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Go ahead, sister. Safety and security was non-existent in the Arabian Peninsula.
And the law of the jungle prevailed. Many ahadith of the earlier days stated that. I'm sorry, just gonna get bigger. Where am I at?
Should I make it bigger?
Yes, please, just a little bit bigger.
Okay, let me see how to do that here. Okay, 75, and there's 200.
Okay, thank you. Barakallahu fik.
Allah yahfazik.
Many ahadith of the earlier days stated that there would be security in the Arabian Peninsula because of the rise of Islam there. The Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam also told us that Islam would go beyond the borders of the Arabian Peninsula and that it would destroy the great empires of that era, such as the dominions of Khosrows and Caesar. In the
Khosrows
Muslim,
we're talking about the Persians.
okay,
Qaisar, which is the Qaisar of the Persians, the Persian Empire, which is right now to be Iran, which is Faris, the Persians.
okay. In the Muslim, it is narrated
Okay,
from.
does anyone know where the Qaisar was at? Where he ruled. Okay, to what nation?
Wasn't that in today Palestine?
Palestine, Bilad al-Sham,
Yeah,
Syria,
Palestine.
Lebanon, parts of Turkey also,
Yeah.
Anatolia, you're talking about Greek, you're talking about Rome, parts of Egypt, parts of Northern Africa, all of those, and also Jordan as well. This is where Ma'arakat Mu'tah, the Battle of Mu'tah was against the Romans, and they call at that time it was Caesar. Okay, it's a Caesar. Okay, so it was Caesar here. I don't know why they put it that way, but I think it's called the Caesar. So Caesar was for the Romans. Okay, now the Roman Empire would expand by the years and grow and expand and grow and expand. At that time, the nation was not considered right now. You put like a ruler and then you start cutting. Okay, over here is Palestine. Let's cut here a little bit for Turkey, a little bit for Libya, and then we'll just put a line between Libya and Egypt, and we'll just put a line between South Sudan and North Sudan, and just a line for Chad and Nigeria, and we'll just make a unicorn for a horn for the Somalia. These are all borders that were created by the Western colonization. But long time ago, with this the domination of any nation or any empire or whatever kind of a ruling would be according to how much they have army and how much they can control, thus also rule that area. So this is how it was. They rule that area. They make battles in that area. If they can make battles and they tell the people to pay the fee or to pay taxes or whatever, they take over the land, and then they keep the people in their land, and they rule those people, and they are considered following that person, whoever is dominating. But right now, and this is how it was for thousands of years until the 18th or the middle of the 18th century and going up. And it will go back to that way, soon, inshallah ta'ala. It will go back to the other way of, the real way of dominating the land. And actually Israel till now, Israel, or the state of Israel does not have, if you go to Israel, with the borders of Israel, or where Israel is stated, they will not draw you a line where Israel is, because literally they believe, according to the Taurati beliefs, that Israel is not limited in just Palestine. No, they believe in something called Israel al-Kubra, which is the great Hebrew or Taurati land, which contains also Mecca, Medina, part of Saudi Arabia. They take away half of Iraq until the Furat. They take Syria, parts of Turkey, Lebanon, Palestine, Jordan, and all the way taking the Nile River, and also Sinai and all of Palestine. This is what they call the big Taurati land, Israel al-Kubra. And this is what they were planning on doing until October 7 happened. And they said, we know that they're planning on doing this, and this is why they planned something called the Abrahamic religion, and that this is what they're doing. They're planning with Imarat and everything. So they said, we're going to take a step forward, and we're going to try to mess their plan and to start what they started right now. Okay, so
I don't think they're doing a good enough job explaining that fact about why October 7th and you know what I mean? Just the fact that what Israel was planning and stuff like that. I don't think enough people know this.
Well, if you just go back to any Israeli soldier, you will find the map of the great Israel on the map. Until now, right now, you'll find videos, and I'm happily share it if you guys want on our group to see how they are teaching their children right now that
Yeah, just put it like in the gemsoflight.
Inshallah. And I'll just put it also in the signs of end of time groups, also explaining how they are teaching their children that we are taking back Mecca, we are taking back Iraq, Jordan is coming next. And actually, the friend of Netanyahu also said, Jordan is coming after Lebanon. He clearly said it. We are taking Jordan after Lebanon. And also they are teaching their children that Lebanon is their land. They're teaching Gaza is their land. All of Palestine is their land. And this is why they split Gaza into two different sections, the north of Gaza, the south of Gaza. Because what they actually did was they actually tore down so many residential areas, and they put really big tubes or pipes, water pipes.
Does their map go all the way to Iran?
Whose map?
No.
They don't. No. They
It
take
doesn't.
Kuwait,
Okay.
just to Iran. So they put very, very large pipes into the ground in order to pump the Nile River, and that would go through also Palestine. And that way they would delete something called the Suez Canal and make the real canal, next to Palestine and through Gaza. So it's all messed up, and they're planning, and this is why they're destroying all of Gaza. They're planning on making something else, and Gaza, they're planning on making it something else. Now, will they be able to do this or not? Allahu A'lam, but they're not going to be able to be doing this, because literally this is going to be the ending of the Yahud. This is going to be the first ending of the Yahud, while the Yahud will be coming back, even when we free Palestine this time, even when it's freed, the Yahud will be coming back with the Dajjal, with 70,000 of the Yahud with the Dajjal, and staying for 40 days. And this is when the rocks and the trees will be saying, Ya Muslim, Ya Abdullah, there's a Yahudi behind me, come and kill him. Not on this word, the next word that is yet to come. So, this is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised the people of Palestine that they're in jihad and they're in ribat ila yawm al-din. Okay, continue, Ukhti Rihab. The Caesar in the Muslim is okay. In the Muslim, it is narrated from in Sahih Muslim, meaning it is narrated from نافع. Let me see here. نافع بن عتبة أنه سمع الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول تغزون جزيرة العرب. Okay, over here.
Okay.
وين راحت؟
أنا
الله
I'm
يحفظك.
here.
You will attack.
Okay, so from the hadith, you will attack the Arabian Peninsula and Allah will enable you to conquer it. Then
Persia.
and Allah
Persia.
Then Persia.
Persia and Allah will enable you to conquer it. Then you will attack Rome and Allah will enable you to conquer it. Then you will attack the Dajjal, pseudo-Christ, and Allah will enable you to defeat him.
Right, let's see what he said here. He said you will attack the Arabian Peninsula. تغزونا جزيرة العرب. Okay? And we've seen all those happened of the Ghazwaz Jazirah al-Arab. Okay? And we've seen how the Nabi Sallallahu made these wars with the Arab tribes. And at the end, the Arab tribes reverted to Islam. And we've seen also the battle of Musaylim al-Kadhab when he left Islam and he claimed to be a prophet. And he said, well, let me do the same thing and claim, why don't I claim to be prophet and let people bring me money? So he claimed to be prophet, and then Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, he took the armies and he went and he fought him until he was considered a lesson for those that use those simple people for his own needs. This is you will attack the Arabian Peninsula. That happened, and Allah will enable you to conquer it. That happened. Then Persia. Persia's where? Okay, let me just draw here a little bit. Where's my pen? Annotate. Okay, so over here we have the Arab Peninsula. Okay. Wait a second. Sorry about here. Just a second here. Over here we have the Arab Peninsula. Let me just try it again. Like, make it a smaller line. There we go. Like, over here we have the Arab. Okay, let's draw the Red Sea first. Just a second here, please. Okay. And different color. Let's do red here. Right. Over here, we have the Arab Peninsula. Okay, here's the Red Sea. Okay. Arab Peninsula. Going here. And we have here. And then we have the Persian Empire here. Okay. Here we have Palestine and Sinai going up. There we go. This is where Palestine and Sinai are. And this is over here, the Somalia here, and going down. All right. Okay. This is Africa, Arab Peninsula. So Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, you will attack the Arab Peninsula. Khalas, so they finished this one, is finished. Okay. And then he said, then Persia. Persia is over here. Okay. They took also Persia, which is an empire that lasted thousands of years, and Allah will enable you to conquer it. Tayyib. And then you will attack Rome. Tayyib. Where is Rome? Where is Rome? Don't tell me you don't know. Yalla ya Rihab. Where's Rome?
The city in Italy.
In Italy. So Rome is a city in Italy. It's considered to be the capital of the Christians. There's two capitals for the Christians. One's the Orthodox one, one's the Catholic one. Okay, so the Catholic one is Rome, and the Orthodox one is actually right. It used to be in Constantinople, which is the Constantinople in Turkey, and then right now it's considered in Russia. Okay. Okay, so Allah will conquer it, then we'll attack the Dajjal, and then comes the Dajjal. So did he say that we were, okay, now this over here is not in order. He said you will attack Rome and Allah will enable you to conquer it. No. Opening a Dajjal, conquering, taking Rome will be after the Dajjal, after winning the Dajjal, not before. Okay? So this is not all in order over here, but it was telling you what's going to be happening. It's only bringing up what's happening, but not in order. Okay? Type. Let's
Hey,
go
wait,
for
can
the
you
next.
repeat what you just said? So you said that the conquering of Rome would
Yes,
be
the
after
no,
the
not
Dajjal
Rome, the opening of Rome, which is in Italy. Now, Rome is opened by takbir, okay, which is Allahu Akbar. The Muslimin will stand on the outskirts of Rome, and this is how it will. People
Oh,
will
I thought it
convert to
already
Islam.
happened, subhanAllah.
No, no, Rome is in Italy. No,
Okay.
that didn't happen.
Jazakallah khair.
Okay, so is this in order? No, this is not in order. This is randomly saying what's going to be happening, but it's not in order. Okay? Okay, let's go. Bukhari narrated also whilst I was in the Prophet, with the Prophet. Who wants to read? Yalla Rihab, you want to continue? So reading a hadith over here.
Okay. Whilst I was with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, a man came to him and complained about poverty. Then another man came to him and complained to him about banditry on the highways. He said, "O Adi, have you seen the city of Al-Hira?" I said, "I have not seen it, but I have heard of it." He said, "If you live a long life, you will see a woman traveling in a litter on a camel's back, coming from Al-Hira to perform tawaf around the Kaaba, fearing no one except Allah." I wondered to myself,
Sorry about
what
that. Down just a second here. About
what about the bandits of Taif who are spreading mischief throughout the land?
Yeah,
The
those are the
Prophet
ones that are, this is the tribe that always made problems, keeps on conquering other, and attacking other villages. Continue.
Okay. The Prophet ﷺ said, "And if you live a long life, you will acquire the treasures of Qusros."
This is Kisra. Nah, which
Qisra.
is the
Okay.
Persians.
Okay. I said, Qisra, the son of Hormuz. He said,
Hormuz.
yes.
Nah. Hormuz was the father of Kisra. Nah.
Okay. He said, yes. Qisra, the son of Hormuz.
Nah.
And if you live a long life, you will see a man bringing out a handful of gold or silver, looking for someone to accept it from him, but he will not find anyone to accept it from him. Then one of you will meet Allah on the day when he meets him, and there will be no interpreter between him and Allah. He will say, "Did I not send you a
Yep.
messenger who
So
conveyed the
Allah,
message?"
okay, can I just cut you a little bit? Sorry, sister.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we will find here that he is bringing a few signs of the end of time here. And one of them he said here that you will see a man bringing out a handful of gold and silver, looking for someone to accept it from him, and no one will accept it. We talked about one of the signs of end of time was that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will send someone called al-Mahdi, that he will spread he will remove all the tyranny, all the zulm, all the unjust in the world, and he will spread money to people, all the needy, and he will give to all people until the people will find gold on the sides of the road, and they will not take it because everyone has fulfilled what they need, and this is one of them. And we also said that now this is telling us a handful of gold or silver. Now there has come of time where Sayyidina Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, Umar ibn Abdul Aziz came to a point where he was so fair that he told the when he used to see a cloud coming over him, he was like, "Rain wherever you rain, your kharaj," which means your tax money will come to me and I will spread it fi sabilillah for the Muslimin and for those that are in need. So he came to the point where he said the Muslimin that were in charge of the treasury box of the Muslimin, they were like, "Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, Prince of the Mu'mineen or Khalifa, there's just so much money. What should we do?" And he was like, "Did you give all the poor?" And he was like, "There's no more poor." Did you marry all the young men and all the young women? They're like, we married all the young men and all the young women. It was like, did you spread money on the people, the non-Muslims that are living in the Muslim land? And it was like, we spread. And there was so much enough food and so much enough money that no one accepted it because everyone had fulfilled what they wanted. Did you give homes for the people that didn't have homes? Yes, we did. What happened? Yani everyone was living a good life. Did you give a land for the 4 people that wanted to farm and wanted to get a job? We gave everyone that needed a job to do and something that they can yani, live their life. So this can have two meanings. One of them was referring to al-Mahdi, and also this already happened before in the times of the Muslimin. And remember also that they used to spread food into the forests to say for yani for in the forest so that the animals and the wildlife will not get hungry. So that what they were asked, why are you doing so? They said, I don't want the non-Muslims to say that some of the wildlife in the land of the Muslimin were hungered or were starved and were not able to eat. Continue, Ukhti. Just wanted to make a little bit of a note here. Okay, and then okay, over here it says, now it's bringing us one out of a time, talking about things that will happen or already happened in the dunya, and then he brought us to another thing about the akhirah. Just like these things happen in the dunya, one after the other, we will reach to the point that we will also see that one of you will meet Allah on the day when he meets him, and there will be no interpreter between him and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There's no translator. No one's trying, you will understand what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, and he will understand you're saying. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will tell you, did I not send you a messenger who conveyed the message? He will say, indeed. He will say, did I not give you wealth and bestow my bounty upon you? He will say, indeed. Then he will look to his right and see nothing but hell, and he will look on his left and see nothing but hell. Uday said, I heard the messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say, who wants to read this? Save yourselves. Kam li ya Rihab. Rihab.
Yes. Save yourselves from the fire, even if it's with only half a date given in charity. And whoever does not have half a date, then let him say a good word.
Then let him say a good word. So this is, whoever's talking about positivity, this is positive. Just keep on working, keep on doing. من كان في يد إذا كان في أحد يدكم فسيلة وإذا قامت الساعة في يد أحدكم فسيلة فليغرسها. If the day of judgment came, and if anyone has a little bit of planting that he wants to plant, and the day of judgment happened, stick it into the soil. And this is how it's important to even to do good deeds, even when you are, whatever happens. Uday said, I saw a woman traveling in a litter on a camel's back. Who wants to read this? This is another hadith. Okay. You want to read this again, Ya Rihab?
Yes, I will.
Yalla ya Amri.
I saw a woman traveling in a litter on a camel's back, coming from Al-Hira to perform tawaf around the Kaaba. Hira to perform tawaf around the Kaaba, fearing no one except Allah. And I was among those who acquired the treasure of Qisra ibn Hormuz. And
Nah.
if you live a long life, you will see that the Prophet Abu al-Qasim spoke of a man coming out with a handful of
gold and stuff, gold and silver. طيب. Okay, إذا هلك كسرى فلا كسرى بعده. Another hadith over down here in the Bukhari was said, also Bukhari. Look at all the hadith that we're saying are Bukhari right now. We're not giving hadith that are da'if and everything. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, when Kisra is destroyed, kam li ya Rihab.
When Kisra is destroyed, there will be no Kisra after him. And when Qaisar is destroyed, there will be no Qaisar after him.
Meaning that this is going to be the ending of two great empires that ruled for thousands of years on those places. Okay? Now, the ending of, giving the idea of the ending of an empire that lasted for thousands of years, two empires that it will be ending. Now, that is something shocking. One is enough. We're talking about two empires that are going to fall, and then saying, and they have fallen few times over the thousands of years. They go, and they, remember when we talked about Surah al-Rum, when they the battle between the Kisra and between the Romans happened in Jericho, the lowest land, where it's said, and now they discovered it is the lowest land. Now these wars happen between two empires all the time, but the idea of an empire that lasted thousands of years, to say when it is destroyed, there will be no more Kisra after that, and when the Caesar, which is the Caesar of Rome, the Roman, is destroyed, there will be no more Caesar after that. Now that is a different story, and we know that those Kisra, when it ended, there was no more Kisra. And when they defeated the Romans, the Rome, it wasn't against the Rome that they were fighting. It was against the Persian, they were called Farinja, which means French, or al-Bilad this, the land of this, the land of that. And it wasn't the Rome in Palestine and in the Arab peninsula, in the Arab Bilad al-Sham anymore. In Muslim, over here it says in Muslim, it means in Sahih Muslim. It is narrated that Thawban said, the Messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, continue, Ya Rihab. Rihab, do you mind reading, or should I rotate with someone else?
If somebody else wants to read, it's fine by me, but I can continue too.
Okay, continue, and then we'll take someone else. I'll like it.
Okay. Allah showed me the earth, and I saw the east and the west. The dominion of my ummah will reach as far as all that I was shown. I have been given two treasures, the red and the white.
No. And it happened. Okay, over
And
here
it-
it says, no.
Did I continue?
Yeah, continue, Hanbak.
And it happened as the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the dominion of this ummah reached as far as he had been shown of the earth, and most of the spread of this ummah was towards the east and the west. Its expansion towards the north and south was little in comparison with its expansion towards the east and the west.
Okay, let's see how this hadith actually applies. Okay, let's go back to over here, and right here, okay, خلينا نكتب هوني خريطة map. خريطة, is it Arabic? No, it's not Arabic. Just a second. We flip it to Arabic here. خريطة العالم الإسلامي. Okay. 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 Can you see this one? Okay. We see this one. So the Muslim world, what's this? Al-Alam al-Islami. So the Muslim world will see that this is Mecca over here. Okay. It expanded through the east and through the west. Okay. So he said that you will expand through the east and through the west. But the north and the south, that was a different story. Okay. So if we want to see that on the map, we see the expanded left and right with the east and the west. Let's go back to the book over here. طيب okay. أخبرنا الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم أن الناس سنغزو الهند. The Nabi صلى الله عليه وسلم said also that they will expand to India. Now that's another story. Now we're opening to India over here. طيب Allah showed me the earth. خلينا خلصنا هوني. That we will conquer India. طيب. According to the Sahih hadith narrated by Thawban, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, okay, who wants to read?
You want me to go?
Go ahead, Noura.
All right. So, where are we here?
And our Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us that we will conquer India.
طيب. According to the Sahih hadith narrated by Thawban, radiallahu anhu, the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, two groups of my ummah will be saved by Allah from the fire. The group which conquers India and the group which will be with Isa عليه السلام ibn Maryam.
Isa ibn Maryam alayhi salam. Okay, so did this happen? When did this happen? The first invasion and the first conquering of India happened in 44 Hijrah by somebody called Muhallab ibn Abi Sufra. Okay, he was a tabi'i. Okay, Muhallab ibn Abi Sufra was the first one to win a battle against them. And then in 48 Hijrah, after four years, they put a Muslim ruler to rule that area. And throughout the 50 years that happened, every few years, they would expand more, expand more, expand more. And if I were to put here, Kharit al-Alam al-Islami, let's go back here, India over here. Now, this is not very accurate because this is more accurate here. Okay, now this is more accurate to be the Alam al-Islami because all of this reverted to Islam. You're talking about Afghanistan, Tajikistan, all those, Uzbekistan.
So all of India was Muslimin?
No,
Okay.
to the, can you see my cursor?
Yeah.
Up to here.
Oh, half, yani, the
Yeah,
north.
you're talking, also Bangladesh were Muslimin. This is Bangladesh over here. All of this was Muslimin. You're talking also over here, Philippines, they were Muslimin. But when
Really?
America, yes, Philippines were
Ya
Muslimin.
Allah.
This is the southern part of Philippines is still now, it's called Mindanao. Till now they're Muslimin, and they made a war about them in the end of the 1990s, and they started killing them and doing these wars, and they had this
And some of them are converting to Islam now.
yes, alhamdulillah, because so
Alhamdulillah.
many of them were Muslimin, and when you see Philippines is all next to Thailand, and Thailand and Taiwan, all those sections areas is an American where the Americans invaded, and they started bringing sending all those missionaries to revert the people. And when the British Empire, the British colonization came, it split. This is Afghanistan over here, and this is Pakistan. This Kashmir over here was also Muslimin, and this is India. Over here is India. It was split in the middle. Let me just open this, make it bigger for you guys.
Yeah, I'm just curious to see. So today,
you got the Muslim world here. All of those were Muslimin. You see here, all of those.
Yeah, but I'm just curious, like how much percentage now of India is.
You have to understand that okay, you have to understand there's more than 200 million Muslimin in India by itself. But
Subhanallah.
Pakistan and in India, and they started taking them in ships and taking them to other colonies for the
in Africa, in
Africa, Commonwealth, New Zealand. This is why you have people in
that's why, subhanallah.
Yes, and you have people in New Zealand, all the way wherever there's
Kenya, South Africa,
yeah, people there that you look at them, they don't look African, they look more Indian, and Pakistani. And then you ask who their origins, and they're like, our ancestors were deported from India because they were actually the sons of scholars and everything. And you'll find a very big community of Indians and Pakistanis in South Africa over here, where there was a big, Cape Town and all those here in South Africa, very big community, and all of them are very, very, you'll find a very, very strong Muslimin, very powerful Muslimin. Their leaders were put in jail for 40 years, and they were hafiz for the Quran. And after they got out in isolated rooms, they would write the Quran on a piece of paper, and they would not miss one letter.
Subhanallah.
The Quran. You're talking about scholars. You're talking about Imam al-Nawawi. You're talking about ulama. India and Pakistan is where Imam al-Tirmidhi, Imam al-Bukhari. You're talking about all those ulama. Daraqutni, all of those ulama. Remember when we took the hadith class and we talked about that all of those big scholars were actually from this area?
Yeah.
They were actually from this area. Now, how do you make a community become ignorant? Just take out the ulama.
Yeah.
they blend in the community. So by time they blended in, even if you go to the Fides for the Hindu scriptures, the Fides does not tell you to worship a cow or to worship all those things. It tells you Allah. It tells you that the creator of the universe is not a sculpture, nor a statue, nor nothing, and just worship the Almighty in the heavens. But culture is what actually changed it. And this is what happened with those ignorant people in the villages, is they didn't have any imams to teach them anything, you know? And this is why you find very big mosques like Taj Mahal. Taj Mahal is all the way down here, you know? What made Taj Mahal be there? Because Taj Mahal was actually for a Muslim leader ruling that area, and he built it as a tomb for his wife. And it was it's for a Muslim leader. So from all this environment of all these people, how can somebody build this? And you can't find a leader without people to rule, you know?
Yeah.
So he was ruling that area. But by time when all the scholars were taken out and deported out of India and out of Pakistan, khalas, everyone just blended in the community they were in. And the people that were condensely in the Muslim areas are the only ones that kept their religion, and the other ones that were just, more closer to the Hindus. And also Hindus, they also had missionaries, yani, spreading also their culture and everything like that. And that's how, so many people, they lost their Islam, is by losing all the
But
scholars.
there still are some like Islamic universities and like good
You're talking about 200 million Muslimin in India by itself.
yeah.
200 million. That's not but you're talking about 200 million out of 1 billion. That's 1/5. 200 million out of 1 billion, that's 1/5 of the population. And that is and this is why they're being put in very hard situations. Lekin we know that at the end, alhamdulillah, all of this is going to be changing to the years coming, and Islam will prevail, will win out of all that, and justice will go for everyone, the Muslimin and the Muslimin, the non-Muslimin, everyone will live in justice, and everyone will live in the point where money will be held and will given to everyone, and no one will accept it because everyone has what they need. But so when I went to look into the history of India, and I went to the Islamic resources, and they talked about how it was war after war till 40 Hijri, 48 Hijri, 44 Hijri was the first war. And then 48 Hijri, they put out a leader. And then 50 something, they conquered another place. And they would talk about, and then there happened a big war, and there was a man claiming to be a prophet, and there were a man claiming to be God and taking other people's money, and he was doing this. So it was actually telling stories and telling what was happening. It's so much closer to what's happening right now. You'll find these very simple people having nothing but just 2 goats, and then taking these 2 goats and giving it to this so-called priests into this temple, and they haram stay with nothing, and this priest getting fatter and fatter, and they're getting skinnier and skinnier. Masakin yani, So it's just the same thing, but I heard that same story. I read the same story about this book, about this man claiming to be God, and people would go around him and start praying for him and giving him money and giving him milk and giving him all their crops and everything. And the tabi'in at that time, the Muslimin, they took him and they took his head and they spread the money on the poor people of the village. So these are stories that that you see when you go back to the Islamic resources. You will see these resources. Now, وقد فتحت فارس and okay, we talked about that. We talked about Faris was already happened. Okay, we talked about Constantinople. Okay, we didn't talk about Constantinople. The Messenger ﷺ told us glad tidings, which means bushra, of the conquest of Constantinople, the capital of the Eastern Roman Empire, which is Istanbul right now. That will be open. Now, Istanbul was actually the capital of the Orthodox Church. It was. And then when it fell in the hands of the Muslimin, it became Muslim. They took the capital to Russia back again. But and we saw that happen. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, so many times. Now this happened. The opening of a Constantinople had a story. The story was that the Uthmani empires, or let's say it, Khalifas, they were all the time trying to, even at what the time. Okay, did I shut out the video? Okay, can you guys see me?
Yes.
Okay, so the Uthmani even they tried to open Turkey even at the time of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is why we find the grave of Abu Ayyub al-Ansari there. And the Romans at that time told the Khalifa at that time, we're going to dig out your friend's grave, your Sahabi's grave. And he told him, if you dig his grave, we're going to send you an army. The first one is the first, it will be standing in line. The beginning of the army will be there at your borders, on your walls of Istanbul, and the end of the war will be in Damascus. So they put actually guards around the grave of Abu Ayyub al-Ansari. Until now, if you go to Istanbul, you will find that the grave of Abu Ayyub al-Ansari with graves around, with guards around it, protecting his grave. There's a hadith actually about that, about Abu Ayyub al-Ansari, but let me see, just checking out the hadith about Ayyub al-Ansari. Okay, forgot how it starts. Bushra Maut Abu Ayyub al-Ansari. طيب. Okay, so we'll talk about that later on because it's a whole story. Okay, we'll talk about that later on, inshallah ta'ala. Let's go back to the book. Where's the book? Okay, so Constantinople was opened, and another hadith that says, and Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam also told us that we will be fighting the Turks. Okay, who's gonna tell me the origin of the Turks and where the Turks are? We're going to open the kharita, the map again, and somebody's gonna tell me where the Turks are. There it is. There's the map. Who's gonna tell me where the Turks are? Can you guys use a pen? Does anyone know how to use can anyone remember a map? Oh, let's go back here. Okay, Noura.
Yes.
How are you with geography?
I think I'm okay.
Okay, do you know where the Turks' origin are from? Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam explained to us that we will be fighting the Turks. Do you know where their homeland is?
Was it from the Mongols, Yani?
Well, the Mongols are Mongols, the Turks are Turks.
Oh, okay. So
okay, can you point out to us where? Mongols are here.
Oh, how do I point though?
Do you have a cursor? Should I allow you to annotate?
Oh, Rehab is doing something there.
Okay.
I found the pen next to the card.
Good job. I forgot how to do that.
Almost close.
Okay, I'll try again. The first try you didn't see.
Okay, right now there's a place called Turkey. Which is this? Oh, I gotta use a different color. Okay, let's go red. Okay, we got a place called Turkey. Which is this? This is Turkey. But this
Yeah.
is actually not the homeland of the Turks. Okay?
Mm-mm.
The Turks actually are from here.
Oh.
This is the Turks.
What is that? What is that present day?
Okay, the Turks are a few tribes. Some of them are called Oghuz. The
Yeah.
Oghuz. Yeah. Some of them are called the Oghuz, and some call them Oghuz or everything. But they're different tribes of the Turks. There's, I think, 12 or 11 tribes of the Turks that they come from this area over here. Now,
And
they're
what is
right.
that present day? Present day, which country is that?
Okay, so what happened was some of the tribes of the Turks, because the Turks, they used to wear boots from hair and clothing from sheep skins and everything like that. And that's what the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam described us about the Turks. In Ashrat al-Sa'a, let me just see here, that
Oh.
the signs of end of time, that you will fight people that wear shoes from hair and from the time and you will find people that their faces are wide. We'll read that in a little bit. Now, what happened was the Muslimin, where's my pen? The Turks actually live, this is their homeland right now. And the Uyghurs, the Uyghurs, are they called Uyghurs?
The
Uyghur.
Uyghur. Yeah, the Uyghurs in China, right?
No, yes, but the Uyghurs in China, yes, but the thing is, the Uyghurs actually are from here, okay? But they also are from Turks, okay?
Allah, yeah.
Yeah, they're also Turks, and now some of the Turks migrated from this area because they're actually shepherds, this area, and they kept on coming all the way, and they migrated to Turkey, and they called the land the Turkey, according to their origin, was the Turks. Okay? So, but actually, all of this area, you'll find it Turks and Kurds, this area. Okay? So the Kurds are very, very big nation. You got Uzbekistan. Why is it called Uzbekistan? It's from the Oz, Oghuz.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're talking Tajikistan, also
All the stands.
Kyrgyzstan, all those areas over here. But right now, they're under the Russian Empire right now, or the Russian country. They're occupied. Okay, all of those areas over here were called the Turks at that time, and Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam told us, "You will fight the Turks." Okay, they were considered to be very tough warriors and very tough fighters. And Nabi Sallallahu told us, you will fight them. And right now we have something called the Turkish country. And that's not the only. Now you will find in the hadith over here, it tells us how the Turks look like. And it's actually the best resemblance to those are the Uyghurs. Not the ones in Turkey right now. The ones in Turkey right now, you'll find them with blonde hair and blue eyes. You'll find them actually resembling a mixture between the Turks and a mixture between also the Europeans. And that's by time, because the Osmani Empire lasted there for a long time, and people would come and they would go and everything, and they would get married and then, change genes and change looks and everything like that. But if you go back to their origin place, they are according to the hadith. Let's see what the hadith says. The city of Hercules, خلصنا هذه city of Hercules, brother. Okay, where to go? Okay, the Persian, the Romans. في رواية لا مش هذه. طيب, where to go? Let me just wait a second. لا تقوم الساعة حتى وين راحت? Okay. There you go. The messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the messenger sallallahu said that we would fight the Turks. In Bukhari and Muslim, it was narrated that Abu Huraira said, Nabi sallallahu said, one of the signs of the hour of time will be that you will fight a people who wear shoes made from hair. And whoever watched Artughral, who watched Artughral?
I did.
Whoever watched it will see how their traditional clothing was. And one of the signs of the hour will be that you will fight the people with wide faces like flattened shields. And it's also referring, if you go back to the Uyghurs, they have that face, because it's not here, it's not referring to Ya'juj and Ma'juj, and some say might be referring to them, because Ya'juj and Ma'juj, we were not told to fight them. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will call, it will be called upon Sayyidina Isa and the mu'mineen to not fight them, because no one will be able to defeat these people. There are so many. The first one comes to the lake of Tiberia in Palestine, and he will drink from it. And the last one comes like, hey, I remember there was a lake here. Now, did he know there was a lake there? I mean, this is probably his first time coming here. Well, that's because science will be spread at that time, and they have the map in front of them, like we have the map in front of us here, and we see what's there. Okay? According to another version narrated from Abu Hurairah, the hour of time will not. Okay, continue, Ukhti Noura. Noura, the hour of time, the hour will not come until.
The hour will not come until you fight the Turks who have small eyes, red faces, and flat noses, as if their faces are flattened shields.
That's the Uyghurs.
Okay. The hour will not come until you fight a people whose shoes are of hair. This
Yep.
version is narrated in Bukhari.
Yep, and they reverted to Islam. This, okay. So this is all describing of the Turks that they will be fighting, and khalas, alhamdulillah, they reverted to Islam, or most of them had. Now, some ulama will refer to that also, referring, now if you see here, and it split the hadith into two. One of them saying the Turks, by the Turks themselves, and another one said, and the hour of time will not come until you fight people whose faces are flattened. So some people said that's two people, that's not just the Turks. Okay? So it's saying, okay, the faces are flattened like shields. They're talking about the Tatar, the moles, or the Mongols. What do you call them in English?
The Mongols.
The Mongols, because in Turkish they say mole, or
Oh,
okay, the
okay.
Mongols also have flattened shields. So whether it is, but yet again, you will find that even the yani that area, yani, let me just show you where that area is. People, that area actually look so much alike. So, and the thing is, those people of Mongolia, where, they are considered very, very tall people. If you go back to Discovery.
Really?
Yeah, they're you think they're not tall, but they are really tall people.
Yeah, because Asians, they tend to be a little bit shorter.
Yes, Asians, yes, but the people of Mongolia are not. They are they're tall people, and they live a very harsh life in the wilderness and everything. They eat blood, they drink blood, and they,
What? Oh my
yes,
God.
yes, and they consider it a ritual,
Ya
and
Allah.
they save it, and they cook it in a certain way.
Oh my God.
You can look at that up
No,
on,
I'm good. I'm good. I believe you.
well, yani, just for
Because that's
information.
disgusting.
They drink it. They actually
Ya
they
Allah,
slaughter
ya
the goat, and then they lean it on the side, and they put a pot of blood, and they start drinking. It's more like milk for them, It's an everyday thing. So that's how they do it. That's how their life is. So when they brought that they do drink milk, yes, they drink blood. Yes, they drink blood. So you will find that the people of those areas have so many things in common in their physical figures. Okay, another thing is signs of end of time is Khuruj Dajjalin. We finished this section over here. You can read the rest by yourself. The emerging of imposters. Now, there's so many emergings of imposters. The writer of the book wrote us a few here, and he talked about, so many people referring to themselves as prophets. Over here it says there will be 30 dajjals among our ummah. Each, we lost count, literally, to be honest with you. You will find one here, one there, one in Sudan that they killed in 1985. You got Musaylim al-Kadhab. You got, okay, let's see what we have here. We have Musaylim al-Kadhab. There we go. A few that were written. Okay, got مسيلم الكذاب, الأسود العنسي, سجاح الكاهنة, the priest. In the Tabi'een time, you got somebody called the Mukhtar al-Thaqafi, also claimed to be a prophet. And you got people like Mirza, you got we got a few of them in Palestine also as well. Even the Druze. Did you ever hear about the Druze?
Yes.
Okay.
They're in Syria and Lebanon.
Yes. They were also founded by somebody that claimed to be a prophet, and they made their own religion. And you also have Qadiani, Ahmadi, also Qadiani. Also, they were made by the British colonization. And one of the main arkan or Ahmad Din, which is, they have the 5 pillars of Islam. And one of their main pillars is you have to claim loyalty to the ruling country in the country. So you can see where this comes from is they were actually made by the yani British colonization.
Really?
In order to
misguide the people.
Yeah, misguide the people, and also to weaken the revolution against the British Empire. So lost there. Muslim Ahmad says في أمتي كذابون ودجالون. Okay, over here, let's read the hadith that says here, the one over here, because it's important that you guys read it. Okay, who wants to read this? Let's see who's there. Okay, Noura, would you like to read with us?
Yeah. Okay,
Go ahead.
Okay, there will be 30 Dajjals among my ummah, each of whom will claim that he is a prophet, but I am the seal of the prophets. There will be no prophets after me.
نعم. There will be no prophets after me, had the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And for this much, we're going to be finished for today, inshallah ta'ala.
Inshallah. We learned a lot. Allahu Akbar.
Alhamdulillah. It's important to have the map in front of you and for us to see what we're talking about and what we're referring to.
Yeah, it really helps just to get the visual of
you know where you're going. When it says east and the west, you know where you're going. When it says the Turks, okay, you're mixing up with Turkey right now because it's having the name of Turks, and all that. So it's really important to know these things and to see the map and to see how it expanded. But when the hadith said, لا تقوم الساعة, the day of judgment will not come. We'll come to that in the future, until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not a single home in the world that Islam will not enter, whether if they accept Islam or not, but Islam will be ruling them. Okay? Sorry, my cat is being disturbing here. Okay? You're talking every place on earth here. Okay, let's see here. Every place on earth, you will find that Islam will enter it. Does that mean everyone will revert to Islam? But if everyone reverts to Islam, where is kufr going to come back and then Yawm al-Qiyamah will happen over them? No, it doesn't mean that all of them will revert to Islam. It means that Islam will conquer and will be ruled with, and people will be ruled by the Sharia law all over the world. But some people will not accept Islam, but Islam will enter their home by the conquering of the Islam. Khalas. Meaning they cannot go and drink beer outside. Khalas. So some of their family members will be Muslimin. So that's how it will be. The day of judgment does not come until Islam rules every place in the world. For now, we finished up to page, let's see here where we finished here. 198, inshallah ta'ala. And we will continue with the fitan for next time, inshallah ta'ala. You guys can read what we took today and, gather the information what we just read and understand it better. If you read it by yourself, and you will answer that. If you take notes about what we said, and the places what we talked about and everything, it will be a lot helpful for you guys. And that's about it. Any questions or comments, sisters?
Yes, Ustada. Is it? I don't remember reading that part, but is so the fighting the Turks was a sign also of the Judgment Day? It was
Yes, yes, yes.
okay.
Anything that
Okay.
talks that something is going to happen in the future is considered the judgment time day. Ishara.
Okay.
Sign. Anything that tells us this is going to happen or something is going to happen is considered an end of time. يعني anything that predicts the future, prophecy in the future that's going to be happening is going to be a signs of the end of time. يعني prophecy or hadith. Okay, any other
Oh,
questions?
okay. Hello.
Okay. With that being said, subhanakallah wa bihamdik nashhadu an la ilaha illa ant nastaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Inshallah, next time we'll be talking about where's the book? Let me see what we're talking about. We're going to be talking about tribulations, which is fitan, a warning of tribulation, warning of the fitan, how the reasons of fitan, examples of fitan that happened and Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam talked about. Now, when we talk about examples of fitan, we won't be saying, well, internet, apps on your phone. No, we're talking about examples of fitan. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said that they were going to be coming, like the killing of of the Khalifa Uthman ibn Affan and what happened. And he told us some hadith who will kill Ammar ibn Yasir, the fitna of the Khawarij, of those people telling us that there will come people that pray more than you, that fast more than you, that read Quran better than you. Yet they say everyone's kuffar except us, and how the Nabi Sallallahu warned us that these are Khawarij. It reminds us of some groups that came out and started telling about other people that they're kuffar and stuff like that. So we'll be talking about those. We're talking about how to save yourself from tribulation, from fitan, and other things also according to Nabi Sallallahu and the Hadith. And other things we'll be talking about for next time. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. We just gotta watch what's happening in the news and see where we're going. Make dua that Allah,
Yeah, we're definitely making dua. Alhamdulillah.
make dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala يعني preserves our deen and iman ya Rabbil Alameen and gives us patience of what is yet to come. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen.
Alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa barakatuh. Let me just stop the recording here. And there it is. Okay.